First, they came for community organizers. But our elected representatives didn't speak out because they were not community organizers. Then they came for union members. But our elected representatives did not speak out because they were not union members. Then they came for civil rights and immigrant rights groups. But our elected representatives didn't speak out because they were not civil rights or immigrant rights groups. Then they came for environmental and LGBT activists, but our elected representatives didn't speak out because they were not environmental or LGBT activists. And then they came for activists for social and economic justice, but our elected officials didn't speak out because they were not activists. And then they came for you, our elected representatives, and there was no one left to speak out for you.
And we stand here today in unity with ACORN. We stand here today in unity with the progressive movement of Los Angeles County that, along with ACORN, have fought hard, struggled hard, organized hard to make change happen for the working people and the working poor of our community. And that's what this is all about. Let's look at the core work of ACORN and what they do. They register voters. They empower people in the political process to make a change in their lives. They fight for education reform and organize parents. They can stand up to the unfair and broken educational system in our community. They fight for homeowners and renters like the Beards, where we sit here on their front lawn, who ACORN protected them from foreclosure. They fight for immigrant workers who are fighting for immigration reform and a dignified life in this country. We all fight for these things. And that's why ACORN is under attack, as is SEIU, as is many, many progressive organizations in this country that are fighting for change. Why? Because we have become successful. We have elected a president that stands with us and wants the same change for America that we do. We have a Congress that is now paying attention to the needs of the working poor. And we have a movement that is strong and powerful and that has an ability to organize workers, empower workers and our communities to make a difference in their lives and create a better future for themselves and their families. Those are the things that these attacks are addressing by the right-wing media, the right-wing politicians and organizations that are attacking us. And that's why we stand in unity here today in support of ACORN, because what can happen to ACORN can happen to any of us that are fighting for social change in our community and in this country. Security officers, janitors, and all of our members and communities we represent stand up in support of ACORN here today.
Let our response today, and that's our collective response to these attacks, be heard in no uncertain terms. We will keep fighting for justice and equality and a better and stronger America. Our bonds and our commitment have only gotten stronger through this attack. And we clearly stand together with the Beards today. Deborah, who is a member of CSCA, and CSCA stands behind her 100% and with all the unions. And clearly today we need to hear their story. So I want to take this opportunity to introduce the Beards, who have been here for 24 years in this home, and they're hosting us today and to give their story about what is taking place with ACORN and them.
Hello, my name is Deborah. This is my husband, Tommy. I've worked for over 10 years as a teacher assistant, and Tommy has worked for over 17 years as a cook at St. Francis Hospital. We've always made our payments on our mortgage, but a few years ago we became the victims of predatory lending after we took out a high-interest loan to make some repairs from a broker that misled us. Last year our payments doubled, and even though we both worked, we couldn't afford them anymore. Earlier this year, we were faced with the prospect of losing our home. Our 20-year-old daughter has known no other home. We joined ACORN and we pushed our lender to modify our loan because we don't think it's right that so many hard-working people across our country are in danger of losing their homes.
proud deputy trustee of SEIU, United Healthcare Workers West, and proud that Tommy Beard is a member of our union. And so we stand with him and with the community organizations because we believe and we know that together we can make a difference. And if they're attacking ACORN today, will be tomorrow. And so we stand because we believe that the people united shall never be defeated.
Let's hear it for ACORN! Let's hear it for justice! Let's hear it for working families all over America!
For over 30 years, this nation has turned its back on the poor and the dispossessed. And now, as for the first time in that period of time, there's some attention to those who are hurting. There's attention to lifting up those who have been cast off. There's attention to making things right. We see this onslaught to try to destroy. And so I come and we come to stand over against, indeed, to denounce those who would want to choke out opportunity for the poor and the dispossessed, who would want to choke out possibilities for families like the Beards, who would want to choke out the opportunity to make things right. And we stand strong and stand over against. For Jesus says, as you did unto the least of these, my brethren, you did it unto me. We come knowing that as they do it to ACORN and those who are vulnerable, they do it to us all. Thank you.
That's what's at stake here. A force to bring about an evening of the playing field so that everyone has an opportunity, that everyone has a chance in this society, is being taken away, is being robbed of this community. The ability for us to fix ourselves is being yanked away because of charlatans coming in and setting us up to look really bad, when in fact the core issue is all the good that ACORN has brought. It's to cut off the nose in order to spite the face. That's what we know as a community, that so much is at stake when people don't speak out. It's our obligation to stand up when there's an assault, like I said, a charlatan assault. This is baloney. This is garbage. This is taking individuals who are meant to represent the entire organization and say that they're the entire organization. It was a setup. It was a frame. And out of that, we're going to take away all the amazing things that ACORN has done. Look at this community of people that have come together, because we know it's not about power. It's about getting basic justice in the world. And so with that in mind, we're going to sign this card, and I'm going to start.
The other thing we want to make clear to everybody watching, this was a nice, civil, orderly press conference this morning because we're in a residential neighborhood right next to a school. But all of us up here are organizers and we're fighters, and all of us live by the credo, we are not going to let you take our lunch. If you come after us and come after our lunch, we're going to fight you, and we're going to fight hard until we win. And that's what you can expect to see in the coming days. We want to take this attack sitting down. All of us will stand together and we'll fight together. We've already set up a website to begin that struggle. It's www.communitystandingtogether.org, www.communitystandingtogether.org. So thank everybody for being here. You'll see us again. We'll be on the battlefield fighting for our rights and fighting for our way of life here in this country. Thank you so much.